Pin Ready, a place where average veterans come to share their opinion about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise you, we can give them to you anyway.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Nate. And let's pull the pin already.
Yes, and I hope this is coming out the way you planned it because literally my intro played again while I was doing all that.
You got a problem with that thing. It sounds fine
Yeah,
on this end. Have
I
you
don't
watched
know
your
why.
previous episodes at all to see if it does anything?
Well, yeah, I do play them through, and some of them I get cut off and stuff. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe I'll reach out to the people that run this
FBI.
thing.
FBI.
FBI. No, they already know, dude. I don't need to
Oh.
reach out to the FBI. They're kind of like listening to everything we do anyway. So, in case you missed the intro, if you didn't, just it's like every other show. But we're back for another War Room edition where we take headlines from the mainstream media and we talk about them from our perspectives, whether we have read the article or not. And why is that important, Nate?
You know, we're just average veterans. We've been around the world and we know everything.
Yes, and we still haven't been fact checked.
Nope.
Legitimately
haven't.
fact checked. Yes.
No.
And we've only been banned from one site. But
It's
we've
not too
had
bad
YouTube
for-
bans, right? We've had one strike at least.
Sure, if you tell me that.
All right. Well, just say something about COVID or something about.
Oh, you
some
just did.
whistleblower
Now we
or
just got
something.
struck. Now we just got another ban.
Yeah. So now you're gonna hear my cat meowing this the whole episode. Oh gosh. And your phone.
What was it like 2 days ago? Your dog was barking at something outside.
Right. Which would probably happen again because it's a dog. So
protecting your house, anyways. So now you got a cat in your house.
oh yeah. No, I mean it's kind of scary too because like if these people don't read signs, they're gonna encounter my dog.
Was your dog
she-
protective?
Yes, and she has access.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a sign that says "Beware a dog" right at the gate, and if they open the gate to come to my door, they're going to get the dog.
So they don't come to your door?
No, one person did once, and they were lucky that my dog was inside with me.
Oh.
Yeah. So, anyways, enough of the dog stuff. Let's talk about the show. What are we talking about? Headlines here, right? You want to just go to some headlines?
Yeah,
So we get
here's
going
one.
here.
All
All
right,
right,
the
first
doggone
one.
show.
Joe Rogan has reportedly been turning down requests to have Trump on his show.
He's building. What's that thing called?
Suspense.
Yes, thank you. I left you all in suspense trying to think about that word. He's building suspense. Well, he'll have him on eventually. He just wants to say no. All right, now it's time.
Well, do you watch Joe Rogan?
I don't even watch us.
Well, I wouldn't watch us because you're doing it.
Oh,
What are you gonna do? Watch yourself do the same thing you just did? But no, I mean, even Joe Rogan though, I like Joe Rogan, but I don't watch his stuff. I just don't. I mean, I'll wait for other people to report on it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather watch somebody else's perspective than his because I already know what he's about. And he's not. I mean, it's not that he's anything wrong with him. I don't need to watch his stuff. You know?
I didn't even know he was a podcaster or whatever he does. I just thought he did.
Yeah, dude. He moved
Oh,
from
no.
like, California to Texas
I'm
with his
thinking of
big
somebody else.
contract.
Joe Rogan was the dude that did
The
Fear
MMA
Factor,
or
wasn't he?
something?
Wasn't he the Fear Factor host? Was that
Did
him?
he? No, I don't think so.
Oh.
He's like the what's it, Stern of today. What was that guy's name?
Oh, really?
Howard Stern?
Howard Stern?
Remember, yeah, he had that big XM radio contract. Hey XM, how's that working out for you?
I think he still does, doesn't he?
I don't know, dude. He
He's still on
must have
there.
a loyal fan base because I never heard
Oh,
of him anymore.
Yeah, he's still on there.
I know he did some COVID stuff like, oh, get the shot. You're killing everybody. You know, I know he did some stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, he's still on. It's
Yeah.
Sirius XM. Get it right.
Oh, whatever it is, dude. I don't care. I don't listen to that crap. But anyways, so my question with this headline is turning down requests from who? It's almost like they're implying Trump's like, hey, let me on your show, but I don't think that's the case.
Probably not.
I'm assuming a lot of people are saying, hey, why don't you get Trump
Get
on?
Trump. Get Trump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he had Biden on? I mean, you
I
gotta
don't
have
think
both.
so.
You gotta have both people running for president on. Is Biden running for president? Did he officially
I don't-
declare?
Yeah, he did before, didn't
did
he?
Oh, I don't
I
know.
thought he did before. But you know, he's never going to run, man. Even the Democrats don't want him. They realize that cash cow's done.
Oh, he has to
What-
run.
Which is surprising. Like, why would they wait this long to at least admit that the whole, corruption and the money taking, the bribes is all real? Why are they waiting this long? Do they not want to tip their hand? Do they have, because who do you think's really going to run? Because even right now, JFK or RFK, I'm sorry, is really beating Biden. And they don't want him because he's, more of a moderate than their crazy agenda. But so who are they going to run?
What about that no-name group now? Or no, yeah, what do they call it? No name group, whatever it is.
Oh, like the new party?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
not.
I know that,
They're called the No Name Party.
but see, even that, like I love the idea, and I think me and Mr. James talked about this, and you hear it all the time that that's why we had a problem. I think we mentioned not too long ago. That's why the third party stuff never wins though, because people are so stuck to their team. So even the no name party would have to take over the Democratic Party.
Well, these are Democrats going to the No Name Party, so
Right.
it's
So they're
yeah.
going to split the vote because there's still going to be morons that are loyal to the party just because it's the party. Like,
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
I don't really care. Like you said, I mean, I know you said it a million times, take the DNR away. Let's just vote for people for who they are.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Stop this party nonsense. And it really makes me sick because it's even corrupting like the Supreme Court. Like I thought, I'm not going to sit here and buy into the Democratic garbage, how the Supreme Court's corrupt. But I do understand that Democrats are Democrats, Republicans are Republican. And even on the Supreme Court, they can't put their bias aside.
They have their certain views, and that's what they think it's right.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not that like the decisions, like let's say when they overturned Roe v. Wade, that decision to me was the correct one. Put it back into the states. It should have never existed. But then you still had the Democrats opposing it. You know what I mean? Or flip the script on anything else that was decided that was a Democratic outcome, that whether I agreed or disagreed with it, if it was a Democrat that won that outcome, the Republicans oppose it. I mean, there's a couple. What Clarence Thomas, his name?
Yeah.
He seems to be level-headed. I mean, neutral per se, but they think he's right because he speaks the truth. He speaks neutral. It's just crazy, dude. Our whole
Whose truth? Whose truth? The truth you believe.
well, truth to the Constitution. I mean, the
Oh,
Constitution. See, that's the funny thing is like even when you talk about, I don't want to get too far in a rabbit hole, but even when you talk religion or stuff like that, things can be interpreted, right? So isn't that why we make laws to be as specific as possible? Isn't that why lawyers put in all this
no,
stupid
absolutely
verbiage?
not. Absolutely not. Those laws are to protect themselves and make you have to get a lawyer to see if you've done right or wrong.
And,
No,
and
they're
I,
not there to.
I won't disagree with that. And I do think that there are some vague laws intentional so that they can interpret it any way they want. But there are certain things that they're called elements of proof, right? We dealt with this, right? When you have a crime, there's an element of proof. There's a certain element you have to read, like intent. Intent has to be there for this crime, or wrongful, whatever. There are things that have to be there, and those things are supposed to be defined. What is intent? Now, proving intent may be difficult, but at a certain point, it's hard to have a rule unless you tell people exactly what they can and can't do.
Yeah, I just want to prove if Trump tried to get on Joe Rogan's show or not.
Yeah, and I don't think he did. I think this is probably coming from people who want him on the show. I think Rogan thinks that that's probably one of those career risks that he doesn't want to take because he's still left wing.
Oh, is he?
Or I say he leans left. Yeah, he leans
Oh, does
left.
he? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's a realist. I think he's probably a moderate,
Yeah.
democratic, kind that you can do like RFK. You can relate to things he says. Like, hey, that makes sense. I don't think it's the answer, but it makes sense. So anyway, it makes sense to move on from this one.
All right, cool.
All right. Former Kmart in Portland becomes homeless squat, burns down.
They can't even keep their own stuff. I mean,
Like when are people going to understand this stuff? Like when are they going to understand this? You can only help people who want to be helped. That's it. You can be the kindest person in the world, but if somebody does not want to be helped, does not want to change their own behavior or make different choices, they're going to keep getting the same results. It's that simple. I have a big heart. I'd love to take in homeless people and all that stuff. I'd love to, but I'm not taking in any homeless person. It's not happening because most of them don't want to be fixed. They want to sit in their misery. They want to sit in the victim mentality. They want to blame the world so that they don't have to do the work. And I know how easy that is. I know how easy that is. When my wife passed away, I had an experience through the grief and all that stuff. I had a chance to be the victim. And I know how addicting it is because you don't have to take accountability for anything. But these homeless people, You give them a free building, and somebody goes and ruins it. I'm not saying they all burnt it down, but
I
you know
don't
what I
know.
mean.
I don't know if they gave him a free building. They probably just took it, and
Well,
because they don't enforce the laws in Portland, they just stayed.
inherently that means giving it to them, right?
I
You
guess.
allowed them to break the law and didn't do anything about it, so you gave it to them. You gave up the right to defend it, I guess you can say. Just like our bases in Afghanistan, was it? We just gave it to them, right? So yeah, so this is sad because first of all, Kmart. I didn't even know there were any Kmart's left. So,
Well,
but
no,
the buildings.
that's why it says former Kmart. There isn't any left. I don't think.
Well, if I understand correctly, I think Kmart owns their buildings. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
Kmart's a leaser.
so. I don't think so because, well, unless they sold, there was a Kmart here that is being totally redone into a new shopping center. So
And I'm
maybe
assuming they
Kmart's,
sold it.
oh, they might have, maybe, I
Because
don't know. Yeah.
well, the reason I tell you this, Nate, is because look how long they stay empty. If it was leased to Kmart, the person who owned it would try to get somebody in there right away. And we had
Uh,
one in South Jersey, same thing. It stayed empty for years, dude. They turned it into like a
hmm,
veterans center thing now for real good idea, good place. But it stayed empty for years. So I'm going to go on the assumption that Kmart owned it. They just probably benefited more by having it empty and tax write-offs than if they sold it and got the pay.
maybe, yeah.
So I don't know that business. I'm not on the large scale business, big business inside. So I don't know how that works, but there's probably some reason that they benefit from not selling it. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. Wouldn't you want to get something in there as soon as possible?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
So that's why I think they owned it.
I'm gonna get a new headline in here as soon as
Yep.
possible.
Yes. Good idea. Thousands of illegal immigrant children with tuberculosis released in U.S. report says.
It's okay. We already got a vaccine for tuberculosis, right? We're good.
Well, maybe they're here to get free vaccines, free mandatory vaccines. Maybe that's it. Mandatory if you live here, not if you're just coming here.
Not not if you're illegal
Yeah, just mandatory if you live here. Only thing mandatory for illegals is cell phones and compensation.
and votes.
You have to take that. Yeah, yeah, and you got to pretend you're one of those 800,000 non-registered inactive voters in Illinois, right?
Oh
Is that what
yeah,
the headline was?
a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I can't remember half time. I can't remember if it was 10 minutes ago. Getting old sucks. Don't do it. Anyways, so yeah, what do you think, man? TB though, is that that's not I don't know. I don't even know much about it. I know you got to get shots for it, but is that a serious?
I
What
don't know
was
if it's
that?
serious anymore. I don't know. I don't want to give false medical information and get banned from some sites. So my answer is I don't know.
Well, I mean, like relevant to its time. Like go back in the day, and a cut on your finger could cause an infection, you would die. Like I
Yeah, yeah,
mean,
right. Yeah, yeah. I don't
back in
think
the
it's
day,
bad like it used to be back in the day. Yeah.
right? It's like I mean, if you get TB, can you just run to the doctor and get a shot and be done with? Like, I mean,
Don't you get TB shots when you're an infant, Tyler?
yeah, but not while you're
You
an
know what I mean?
illegal immigrant coming into a country
Sure,
where
but
everybody gets mandatory shots.
we already got shots. We're protected. We're good.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because once you get a vaccine, you'll never get anything. That actually
Duh.
only works with certain ones, but I'm not going to say that because that could be medical misinformation.
Well, we're gonna get kicked off. So let's kick off this headline before we get
Yeah,
any more
yeah. Let's
trouble.
move on. Yeah, that good idea. Air Force Academy teaching correlations between GOP and racism, BLM and critical race theory. This one came from Johnny, I think. Thanks, Johnny. I mean, I told you, he said sends me like 100 headlines, and I don't have time to get them all, and half the time I forget them by the time we're ready. But this one came from Johnny.
Well, it sounds totally like the military nowadays. I'm sure. What's the SecDef's name? Lloyd Austin. I'm sure he's all for it.
Yeah, but that's crazy. Like, how do you link GOP with racism?
Oh, I'm sure they find a way.
Yeah, I mean, how do you justify that? Like, even like, I don't know, dude. I just don't. That's a stretch to me. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, where's the proof? What's the evidence?
You don't need that. We just
Well,
tell
of
you.
course not. Right,
We're
right.
just
Of
gonna
course
tell
not.
you it is.
But you're talking about the Air Force Academy here. You're talking about people who score high on tests. They're supposed to be intelligent. Are they not smart enough to say, hey, this is, inaccurate or this is garbage or partisan BS? Like, you know what I mean?
People believe it, so they're not gonna not believe what they're being taught. Maybe some of them might.
But they're Air Force. I mean, I can't imagine. Like, well, then again, I told you that interview we're going to get to one day was an Air Force veteran, and
Oh, there
she
you
was an
go.
idiot. So I don't know. Maybe she's a part of this new Air Force generation.
I think it's insane though. So there's no correlation between the Dems and racism. They're not racist. Only GOP are racist.
I mean, can you not like just go back in history when the Democratic Party was the KKK? Like, I mean, like, hello, is there no
Uh,
correlation there? Or is that
the ones who voted not to release slaves.
right? Is it?
Them.
I'm a little confused.
No.
Maybe maybe that's what they think the grand old party is. The grand, like the grand poop. What was the grand? What was it called? Poobah? No, what? Am I thinking like Simone and Timba or Tumba or what?
Yeah,
Poobah?
poopa.
Was that what he's called? The Grand Wizard or what was he called, man? The
Who?
KKK leader thing. Was
Oh,
he?
I don't know.
I don't either, dude. I'm not in that club, although I am white, so I must be a supremacist. So why don't we go ahead and move on? I think it's the last one, right?
Let's move on to end the show.
Yeah, let's just end the show because we'll get canceled one way or another for this one. But thanks, Nate. Thanks again for showing up and coming on. And thanks, Johnny, for your input and Christine for your comments. They don't go unnoticed, and keep them coming. We appreciate it. Get on, though. If you're a vet, get on. We want some more opinions on here because Nate's and mine are getting dry. Obviously, we can tell by our views. But like, share, subscribe, get some people on. What do you need?
Straight facts we spit. Straight facts.
Exactly.
Maybe my facts. My facts.
Well, I don't know, dude. Maybe maybe if you send us all your money, we can hire somebody to be funny and get on here and do the show for us.
You ain't gonna get much from me.
But until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin ready. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.